Coffee and Chaos. And we brought somebody back.
Hi, guys.
How are you, Steph?
Good. How are you?
Good. How's Pops? Everything good?
Okay.
Good. Getting there?
Yeah.
Getting it all situated?
Getting there.
Good. And then Dodger Man, Dodger Blue.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Are
So excited.
you?
Heck yeah.
I'm a little upset with them right now. We'll get into that. Solomon, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. Is it a weekend?
Yeah.
It's never a weekend to me. I'm always here. It seems like. Yeah. How you doing? How you doing, Tony?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good to have you
Solomon?
back. I don't hear your alarm going off.
No.
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
And Stephanie, welcome
Hi.
back. Why you being so timid over there? I'm about to
I
turn your
know.
mic up.
Just getting readjusted.
Yeah,
Yes.
to turn her
I
mic
keep
up.
looking out the window to see if the eclipse makes it all black yet.
It's not gonna do it here. I don't think.
I
so.
think
I think
somebody.
it was like four. It was like a.
It was at 10:30.
No, it was
No,
like
it's
11.
11:15.
Yeah, 11 something.
Oh, it changed.
Yeah.
Mexico and Texas, I heard. I got text messages. They were pretty covered and pretty dark over there.
Wow.
Everybody has their candles lit.
Well, Mexicans do the red ribbon and safety pins, especially if you're pregnant.
Mhm.
And I was like, I'd be praying first. That's what I'd be doing.
Hey, well, before we get into the topics, I mean, being that this is an eclipse, tell me what are some of the either religious or superstitious things related to the eclipse that you guys have heard of or
Nothing
part of
for me.
families?
The
Anything?
only thing I've heard about is how if you're pregnant, you're supposed to put a red ribbon around your belly with the safety pin or a safety pin on like in your clothes, and then everybody else just puts the red ribbon around their wrist.
Mm.
What that signifies, I don't know, but that's the whole
I
Mexican.
bet you Vicks is involved too.
Vicks. Yeah. So if you were to Google and look, because I got stuck down the rabbit hole like a few weeks ago when we were first people talked about the eclipse. There's people on there saying, "Oh yeah, my Thea, her baby came out this way because she didn't do this," and
Oh my god.
my friend's sister's baby came out with a cleft lip, and all these things. And I was like, "Well, I'm glad I'm not pregnant."
Yeah.
Oh man.
So what about you? Do you know anything?
Me? No, I'm always excited to hear your stories. You always seem to have something.
Well, Mexicans.
Yeah.
We
We
create.
create our own stuff.
Yeah, we do. We're just like-
That's the whole reason I come to work every day.
But a lot of it just goes to prayer. Just pray. That's
Let
how
us
I look
pray.
at it.
Mm.
All right. So we are going to do, what did we call it?
Thursday tales.
Thursday Tales, which are, I can't talk crap about Channel 5 News because I'll get yelled at by everybody that watches it,
I did
apparently.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't mean to offend people when I was like, oh, that's like maybe an old person channel.
My mom was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Channel
was like, my
5
bad.
is. I love Channel 5.
Well, I
News.
guess because this is how I look at it is I don't watch regular cable TV. I have Netflix.
Yeah.
So I feel like people that still have cable TV.
Yeah, I was rewinding it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what did they just say? And she's just like, huh? Let me rewind it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
So it'd be, but basically like current events, daily topics, all that stuff. I think that we did one a few months,
Mhm.
remember,
Yeah.
and everybody really liked it, and some people were like, "You guys should do that more often." So we're gonna go ahead and do one, and our first topic is
Dodger Blue.
Yes, it is about the Dodgers and Mr. Otani himself and his interpreter.
that's making hot dogs like $500 now, and a beer like $2 million.
No, it wasn't that bad.
How much is the Dodger dog? And they don't even
Well, I
have
didn't have
Dodger
a Dodger
dogs
dog
anymore.
Uh,
They have some other.
I had,
They changed the
I,
beef.
I was drinking, so yeah.
Okay, how much were your
Uh,
drinks?
It was for
It's
two
gotta be at
beers. It was
least
like
15.
it was. I would say it was up there about $20 a beer.
Yeah.
I think it was like
Yeah.
$42 if I remember
You know
right.
how much gas I
Wow.
could put in my
That's
car for
insane.
42 bucks?
I could
Oh.
have
That's
filled mine up,
insane.
but yeah, it was good.
Was it worth it?
Oh hell yeah! Every time you go to a Dodger game, it's worth it. That's my home away from home.
And I get that. I'm just so we were so excited to get Otani. And I already knew, oh yeah, we're all excited until watch those prices go up. And then everyone's going to be paying
yeah.
it.
And that I'm one of them.
And then he's over here gambling away all the money he's getting paid.
He wasn't
Allegedly.
allegedly
Allegedly.
innocent until proven guilty.
Yep.
It was his interpreter, huh?
Yeah,
In the words
I honestly think that he was taking the money, and then Otani was just pretty much just okay. Here. Like I guess not really paying attention. I honestly think that he didn't have the right people watching over him and watching.
In the words of Pete Rose, I wish I had an interpreter back then.
Like,
So you
That's
really
a-
don't think that he was gambling at all?
I don't. I
You
think
it was all his
his
interpreter.
I think it was his interpreter doing the whole thing.
But how come it was
Stealing
coming
money.
from
Yeah,
his
stealing money
account?
from.
And he
He
knew
gave
it
him
was coming
access to
from
it.
his.
I think he gave him access to it, and because he's making millions of
Yeah, that's
millions
how
of dollars, he's not
all
paying
these guys
attention.
get milked because other people have access to their
So I
accounts.
kind of was on the fence of it, but then when the whole home run ball came out,
Right? Yeah. When she came out, honestly, like
I was pissed.
I thought he was gonna go out there and meet her because it showed him running out of the dugout into the tunnel.
Well, he said that he met her.
Okay, what are we
Yeah.
talking about? You guys
Yeah,
got to
no,
fill
I
people
have
in.
no clue.
So Otani, he hit his first home run at Dodger Stadium. So
Okay.
obviously his first as a Dodger, and husband and wife caught it. Well, the wife caught it or whatever, and security rushed her to wherever they wanted to rush her to.
And they immediate separated them. They would
Yeah.
not let the husband go with her,
Right.
which is so wrong.
So security pressured her and told her, "Hey, this ball's worth
100
X
grand.
amount,
They said.
at least $100,000." And
Why?
they were just
Because it's
Otani's
his
home run
first
ball
His first home
home
run.
run in the
with the Dodgers.
and so she said, "Okay." They originally just wanted to give her 2 hats or a hat, and she's like, "Well, what else can I get?" So the next thing you know, she ended up getting a bat signed by Otani, 2 hats, and a signed baseball. But they said if she didn't take the first initial offer, that they weren't going to authenticate the ball, saying like, "Oh yeah, I caught the
Yeah.
ball."
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
So they
wrong.
kind of
That's hardball.
pushed her right in the
But
corner,
I think they also
and her
took ad-
husband wasn't there to help negotiate. So it was just her. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
I think they took advantage of her because I think if
Yeah.
it was somebody of a different ethnicity, that would have never went down that way.
so
What was
once
the
that went
ethnicity, by the
viral,
way?
They were Mexican.
Okay.
once that went viral, the Dodgers came back and said, "Oh, we're going to give you an on-field
Mhm.
access or whatever." But nowhere did they, like you said, did they say, "Oh, you're going to meet Shohei."
But Otani said that he met them.
See, I didn't see that. I didn't hear that
And
part.
then he retracted and said no.
So
everybody
what
was
does that
like-
have to do with the gambling, though?
Yeah.
Well, because for me, if you can lie that easily and say I met somebody when you didn't meet them, and then tell us, oh, I didn't. For me, if you could lie that simple, you could lie about the gambling. You're a liar. Like you're just. That's how
Oh.
I look at it.
All right.
Yeah.
So I don't. I mean, I like him. Not my business that he gambled away his money. Like I don't even think he.
Allegedly. See, you just said right now he gambled his money away.
Okay,
No,
that
didn't.
he allegedly or his interpreter did. Like I don't care either way. That's not my business. That's his money. Like I'm there to watch him play ball. I don't care what he does. You know what I mean? I just got a little irritated when he was like, if he would have never said he met them, then the Dodgers did the couple wrong, not him himself. But then once he was like, oh yeah, I met them, and they were like, no, you never met us. That's when I was like, you little liar.
Maybe
Typical
the Dodgers
man.
were
Typical
telling him
man.
to
Wow,
say
here we
that.
go. We're gonna go to that
Yeah.
down that route.
This
Maybe the Dodgers were like, no, you need to say that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
Mm.
thinking.
No, I don't know.
Alina, you got
We
to
should
look
probably
at
ask
it.
this new interpreter.
You
He
got to
makes
look at
too
it from
much
The
a different
money.
Dodgers
perspective.
were strong arming her. So I don't think
I don't think they're going to strong
they're-
arm him.
Trust me, if they're strong arming someone they have no connection to, they're definitely going to strong arm somebody that they employ.
No, because he's worth
Absolutely.
too much money. I don't think so at all. At all.
Yeah, but
he
they're
makes
the
too
ones
much money.
paying the money.
Too much
That's
money. He's
the
only making
thing.
$2 million a year.
Boy, here we go. So he can save it all. So by the time he gets to go back to where his home country is,
Yep,
he's
he
going
won't
to
get
take all that
taxed.
money. Yeah, if you don't gamble it away first. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
No, I need to stop. I do like him, and he's a Dodger guy, but once I heard that, and I think I'm mad at the Dodger organization for separating the husband and wife and not handling it better than they should.
Well, they're the ones that allowed it to happen. I would have said, you're not separating me.
When you have security all around you and they're pushing
Yeah,
her this
they
way,
showed
and
it on
physically
video, like
separated
on
it, yeah.
TV. There was like a good, probably about 4 or 5 of them
Yeah,
following
completely.
her,
And it happened so
and they
fast,
escorted
and
her.
you're in
Yeah,
that moment. I don't think that
If
they.
I were her husband, I wouldn't give a shit. I'd be pushing everybody.
Your Brian
Get the
would
heck away
Brian
from
would
me.
not have been able to, by any means, been able to stop that from happening.
No,
The
but I
security
mean,
would have
like,
pushed him away and been like, "Shut up and sit down." And that's basically what they did.
but that's the husband.
I
Like,
know.
who are they to say
Oh, that,
anything?
and that's our point.
Yeah,
That's the point that we're making, is that they shouldn't have done that.
Well, and
They
probably
didn't.
their excuse is we couldn't verify on the spot if that was actually her husband. So, but here,
I didn't bring my marriage certificate.
yeah, exactly.
Here,
Here's
I
my
got it in my back
question
pocket.
though. And Tony, maybe you can answer this. If they knew at some point this guy's going to hit a home run and that they want to get the ball back, you would have thought that they would have like had every fan sign something coming into the stadium. So if you catch this ball, you're contractually obligated to take an offer from us to give us the ball back or something. I mean, it just seemed like that was sort of like last minute negotiation slash
No,
pressure
it's.
tactics.
I would. First, I think that'd be like way too much to have sign a paper
Yeah,
before you
there'd
walk
be
into
way
Dodger
too many.
Stadium.
Yeah.
Well, you signed something anyway. I mean, there's an implied agreement when you come to the stadium
They
anyway.
could have
yeah.
just made an announcement like before the game started. Like, if Ohtani hits a home run, we're jacking the ball for
And
you.
that's
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
but you got to know, you got to figure like that was bound to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As big of a superstar as he is,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like they call him a unicorn. I mean, he's just once in a
Yeah.
lifetime like athletes.
And that's my point. You think they would have been prepared for it? That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Definitely think they should have, and the way they handled it was wrong. And
It was
I-
messy at the very least. It's messy.
yes, for sure. But we still love our Dodger blue, I guess. Yeah.
I'm excited.
So we'll go to the next one, and then next one I want to go to is Cole Brings Plenty, the indigenous guy, the native guy that was kind of like when I first read about it. He is from Kansas. He's indigenous. He's Native American, as you say. He's 27 years old. He's an actor. He played in the TV show 1923.
Which was a spinoff to Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Right.
His uncle Mo Brings Plenty is a more famous of an actor. He's kind of a newer actor. So I read it first, like on TikTok, that he was on the run for domestic violence. But everything you ever read about this guy does not show domestic violence. But we also don't know people, right? We always just see what they want us to see.
Right.
So I was like, oh, that sucks. And so then he's missing for a few days. And now it turned into on the run, to his family saying he's not on the run, he's missing.
Mm.
So then, do you want to show the clip real quick, Sullivan?
Sure. Let's see here.
Cole Briggs Plenty, who is an actor who starred in the show 1923, which is a spin-off of Yellowstone, has been found unalived after being reported missing. Cole is also the nephew of Yellowstone star Mo Briggs Plenty, and he passed away at 27 years old. Just a few days after he was reported missing, the Johnson County Sheriff's Office in Kansas announced that Cole's body was discovered in a wooded area on Friday morning. Deputies had been called about an unoccupied vehicle. After checking the vehicle, deputies searched the area, and that's when they found Cole's body away from the vehicle. Deputies say the deceased male was identified as Cole. It is unclear at this time what led to his passing. So Cole was reported missing on March 31st. Alarms were raised after Cole missed an appointment with his agent about a role on a TV show, which was uncharacteristic for him. Cole's family then reached out to authorities to express concern. Then on Thursday, his uncle Mo said there was no evidence that his nephew was on the run after he was named a suspect in an alleged domestic violence case. Sending my prayers to Cole, his family, and his friends.
So there's a picture of him at a concert, and he was in a mosh pit, and his hair was, I think it was just like in a ponytail, but it wasn't braided, and it got stuck in some wire. And so some girl was helping him take the wire out.
Right.
Somebody else came up and cut his hair. So they don't know what happened after that, but the girl that cut his hair is the girl that's reporting the domestic violence. And she was reporting the domestic violence like once the family, I think, started saying he was missing. And she was like, if you went on TikTok, her sister wrote this whole thing like, I hope he dies. He dragged my sister here. He dragged my sister there. She was going on and on and on saying all these ugly things. So now they're saying that it's her and her sister did something to him, or the family did something to him. So none of it makes sense. Like, he was on the run for domestic violence, or was he missing? The same girl that cut his hair is the girl that's claiming the domestic violence. So it's it's really confusing.
Yeah, because I did not hear that. I heard that about him, that he had went missing after the domestic violence was issued.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
But
not
it's
before.
but
It
it's
would
the
be-
same girl that cut his hair that's reporting the domestic violence.
So I'm kind of confused. So the girl that cut his hair at the concert or
Yes.
whatever, was she with him?
Nobody knows. That's the thing is there's so
Oh.
many pieces that are missing.
Oh.
And when
So-
you say cut his hair, do you mean cut just enough to get him out of that?
No,
or cut
they
his
cut-
hair off.
like,
Oh,
cut
they
a
cut
good-
like
a good chunk of it.
a good
off.
chunk of it off. So, and when they found him, his hair was cut, but they're not saying how much. But I'm thinking it's a lot because the indigenous people were asking everybody on April 8th, Monday, which is today, to braid your hair in honor of him because his hair was no longer there. So,
Which I like your braids, by the way.
thank you. But I look
Yeah.
so indigenous today. So that's but so they don't you don't know really anything. But now the latest as of this morning came out. Now they're trying to say he committed suicide.
Based on what?
That's all there's we don't know. That's all that's been kind of like leaked out.
That's
like,
the only thing I could think of. Like, I'm trying to like see everything. Like,
Yeah,
the
I'm
whole
trying
thing-
to
the
see
whole
everything.
shit because
play
if he
out.
was like, let's say if he was murdered, right?
Mhm.
I think they would have said something like to a
Mhm.
point where like, oh, they found him in the woods.
well,
stabbed.
they did find him in the woods.
Right. They're not too far from the car,
Right, yeah.
his Ford Explorer. And they said that they would have said like, oh, we found him
But
stabbed
you
or a
gotta
gunshot wound to
remember
the head or the
cops
chest or
in
whatever.
Kansas are not big indigenous fans. And here's the thing: his sister was also
Missing.
murdered 6 months ago in the same woods.
Oh, see, I missed that
Yeah,
part where it said it was in the same
she
woods.
was missing, and they found her, and she's no longer here. And now him, like, so what's going on over there? But indigenous people are one of the highest rate people that are murdered and missing, and nobody cares. So this, like, his sister was swept under the rug, and the only reason he might not be swept under the rug, and we might find out the truth at some point, is because he was acting and people actually put like Rip that plays on Yellowstone even posted on his Instagram, like, if you guys know anything, he's missing. We're really worried about him. So I think that because more people know him, it'll be out there more and people will demand answers.
Oh, hopefully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the only thing that makes me think that it's not a murder is because I know from my experience with domestic violence that you have to have a lot of evidence in order for them to issue a warrant on domestic violence. So,
well, my
so in
experience is
order-
the exact opposite.
that's crazy. Yeah,
Believe
so
me, it's
so
the exact opposite.
in order to issue a warrant where to go pick somebody up, they had to have some type of evidence that he
But
did
if she's
something wrong.
Caucasian and he's indigenous, I don't
Yeah.
think it's that hard to get a warrant to go pick him up
Yeah.
to question him.
I don't know. That's what I
And
just
it's
had
in
a different-
Kansas, and it's in a place that I don't think we could ever understand,
Right.
because we
Mhm.
live in such a different place. Like, we don't live there. They have way different way of life
I had
than
to
we do.
produce so much evidence. It was insane. Just to get a restraining order, I had to show him text messages, phone call logs, everything, just to prove that he was harassing me.
Wow.
Pictures, just to get that. Not even to pick him up for the abuse, just to get a no contact and a stay away from me order.
I think I'm just wondering, like, why did you cut his hair, or why did you feel so comfortable to cut his hair in that moment?
That's ballsy.
And then later say,
I don't know
At
why
a-
he didn't fight him off.
and
like,
then later say, oh, the sister, not her, is saying that he climbed into the second story bedroom and dragged the sister out, but somehow the sister got away, and that he took off. So if you go in there and you go down the rabbit hole, you'll read a bunch of different stuff.
yeah.
I just feel like I don't think at all that he committed suicide. There's no reason to. You're an actor. You have a pretty good life. Like, you were just
We-
having fun a few nights before.
But you just never know.
Yeah,
as far
there's
as
a ton of actors that have committed
True.
suicide.
I don't think
like,
it is.
for
like
instance-
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
That one was awful.
Or what's his name from Lincoln Park?
Oh yeah, yep, that one
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, but you could go
crazy.
down the conspiracy theory. Did he really commit suicide, or did he?
Yeah,
Oh,
he did.
here we-
That one's like, I feel like that one is.
That was
like-
to me that was one individual was like just
He was very troubled.
yeah, but you could never tell.
Yeah, he was very
Like I
troubled.
said, it could be something like that.
His kids say that they've done, like, the older kids have done several interviews, and they were like, he just struggled. our entire lives with alcohol, drugs, and severe depression. And like I think that the maid went in to clean the house. She had been his maid for 10 years, and he was just hanging.
Yeah.
She found him,
That's what I'm saying. Like, you just never know.
No.
and he was all alone in the house.
No.
Which is crazy.
No,
Well, at
Lincoln
least he
Park.
did
No,
that.
I'm not talking about the Lincoln Park guy.
No, I know. I'm talking about.
I'm talking about Cole brings
Colby,
Plains.
yeah.
No. Like, and when it all comes out, we're going to come back here and have a little.
And I'm going to be like, see, I told you.
Yep. I always wait for the evidence because I watch a lot of trials, and I don't believe shit I see anymore on the internet because half of it ain't true until I see like it all play out in trial.
But do you believe everything that plays out in the trial? Believe all the evidence? You don't think any of it's fixed or any of it can be?
No, I watched
And the
trials
glove didn't
all
fit.
the
I was gonna
time.
say like
The glove didn't fit.
Like
No, I watched
Solomon.
I watched
guys
so
are-
many
guys,
trials.
oh my
and you literally believe everything in those trials?
Yeah,
You don't think people lie?
it's hard. Well, yeah, for
You don't
for the one that's in trouble.
you don't think that people lie on either side? You don't think people exaggerate or that people are misinformation?
There's actually my dad told me there's actually a course when he was in law school, and the class is Rhetoric 101. As an attorney, rhetoric is like bullshit. You got to learn how to bullshit your way. Even if what you're doing isn't really what happened, you got to learn to bullshit and make the jury believe you. There's actually a class on that.
You just said if it didn't happen that way, you have to make them
You
believe.
have to.
So you're basically going up there and lying.
No,
Not lying.
what I'm saying is you have to make the jury interpret it your way.
Yeah, you're
rather than interpreting their way. Anything can be interpreted differently. You could.
That's a lot of interpreting.
Yeah, two people could.
Yeah, that's why I don't.
Two people can read a sentence, and one can think one way, and the other can think another way. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's
why,
life in general.
That's why text messages are insane to me. That's why I really hate texting because they don't feel like your
Right.
context.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
But look
I
at
will
the
say-
Johnny Depp trial with what's her face. That was a crazy trial,
Oh
and that
my
was like
Jesus.
all over the place. Like,
Yeah.
there were so many things coming out that were untruths and lies. And
Yeah, but when it played out, Amber Heard got her ass handed to her because she's a liar.
Yeah.
He's crazy, and he did abusive stuff for sure. But she was just as
Wait,
crazy.
abusive stuff like what? Because now we're talking about my man.
Not Jack Sparrow.
No,
not Jack Sparrow.
I'm saying not
Not
as,
21 Jump Street.
Yeah, not as in like hitting her. I'm saying he was abusive verbally, obviously. They in the heat of the moment, he's drunk and he's acting like
And
an
you're
idiot.
dealing with a woman like that, yeah.
But she is not an innocent.
oh,
She
no,
was
not at all.
instigating. She
Yeah.
was in all that mess.
That was a funny trial.
That wasn't a whole.
And she
That-
was
that-
a
that's-
liar,
that's-
and she
that's
got
your-
caught.
That's
That's
your
what-
Thursday coffee right there. That's your cheeseman right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Get my
She got
popcorn, have my
caught.
coffee.
She pooped on his bed.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh my God, that's who you married when you could have had me? Like, this is what we're doing? You're
I'm right here.
Trust me, you couldn't handle Johnny Depp.
I could
He's a lot to handle.
It's all right. He's Johnny.
He has a
She's Mexican.
huge
She's
drug and
Latina.
alcohol
She's toxic.
Oh,
So
that's nothing. I'm used to drugs and alcohol. We got this. What else you got?
okay.
Keep throwing it at us. We'll just send him down to Rosarito and put him in what do they have? The rehab houses in Rosarito, which are freaking really awesome that a lot of people send their kids to. And Mexicans ain't letting him leave till he's sober. As long as they're getting paid, they're like, you ain't going nowhere,
nowhere.
Mr.
You
Death.
Stay right here.
Well, speaking of trials, then we'll get into Steph's, the one that you want to talk about.
I can't remember which one it was. Or Shonda Vander Ark or
No, the other one.
oh my God, why am I drawing a blank?
Maybe we could just play the video.
Yeah, just play
No,
that.
That'll jog your memory.
Oh, Fotis Dulos.
Yes, her.
And Jennifer Dulos
Of
was the wife.
2017, Jennifer claimed that she had learned of Fotis being unfaithful in the marriage for at least a year. During the early stages of their divorce, Jennifer had even written in documents, "I know that filing for divorce will enrage him. I know he will try to retaliate by trying to harm me in some way." The day after Jennifer went missing, police searched numerous properties and numerous bodies of water near Farmington, but there were no signs of Jennifer anywhere. But then on January 7th, 2020, Fotis was arrested and charged with capital murder in relation to Jennifer's disappearance. An emergency bond hearing was set for January 28th, 2020. January 28th came around, and Fotis failed to show up for his hearing. Police immediately went to his home in Farmington, where they found Fotis, but they found that he had poisoned himself with carbon monoxide. It has now been 4 years since Jennifer was last seen.
Oh,
Should have watched to the end of that video. I don't know why she said that. Jennifer's body was found like
Well, that might have been
a couple days after.
that might have just been a
Yeah. So they found her body in a wooded area, and her SUV was parked like a couple miles away from it and abandoned.
Okay.
Her SUV or whatever. And the whole thing played out because they were married. They have 5 kids. They're worth a lot of money. So I'm not sure what she did, the wife, but he owned a huge like construction company that did luxury real estate. And they had multiple properties. And they were struggling, and she found out that he was having an affair with this girl, Michelle Triconis. And that's when she was like, that's it. I want a divorce. I'm done. So they had a very, very contentious divorce.
and she moved out willingly, right? Because I watched the documentary a few years ago. She moved out into a separate house, didn't she?
Oh, yeah, she did after a year.
Yeah,
She lived in the house for a year, and then finally, because of all the drama, he had moved his girlfriend, Michelle Triconis, and into one of his other properties, and he was living with her, and the mom was living in the house.
Okay.
And it was just so crazy, and he was harassing her every day that she said, screw it, I'm buying another house, I'm moving out. So she moved out, and the 5 kids moved in with her. And during the divorce proceedings, he got more and more threatening. So she had went to court and told the court, like, he scares me. I don't want to be around him, and showed him all this proof. So then they gave him supervised visitation, only like once a week or something. So that happened, and they were doing it like every week. They were meeting up and letting him see the kids for 2 hours. Well, all of a sudden she went missing, and they had a nanny for like 10 years, the same nanny. And the nanny was like, she's not answering. I'm supposed to meet her at her mom's. I don't know where she is. I have all of her kids. She called the husband. The husband was like acting like, oh, I'll help you find her. And 3 days later, her mom had called the police department the day after and said, hey, she's missing. 3 days later, they found her body.
And didn't they find him dumping something out of one of his cars?
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting to. So once the cops got called and were notified that she was missing, they immediately started doing investigations. So they pulled camera footage from metro buses, from businesses, from houses, all kinds of stuff. And this guy was going around the city, stopping in his Ford Raptor and putting stuff in random trash cans on like busy streets.
Why do you think he killed himself? He was
guess who was in the car? Michelle Triconis, his girlfriend.
What?
So they ended up rushing and getting warrants to get this stuff out of the trash cans. And when they got all the stuff out, they found her bloody shirt, a bloody cardigan, a pair of pants. It looked like a metal like broom stick or a broom handle or a mop handle that was bent, and it was metal, and it had blood on it.
Why did he kill her though? Like, did he kill
Keys.
her because he didn't want anyone else to have her, or did
Because
he kill
he
her
was worth a lot of money and she was going to get half.
So wasn't
That's
that
what
kind of
I
like?
was-
Isn't it
like,
similar
yeah.
to what's his name? That Olympic athlete that didn't have the legs.
Oh,
Oscar.
yeah, and he
why-
killed that
yeah, he-
model girlfriend.
Yeah, his girlfriend.
Yeah, and he said he thought it was somebody else in the middle of the night, and he
Right.
shot her. But he's already out of jail. He's already did his time, and he's already out. Like, yeah. But my thing is, like,
He walked.
how much money do you need that you're now killing this woman that meant something to you that you had 5 kids with? And the girl that was in the car with him, the girlfriend, she just got sentenced, right?
Yeah.
Because
she
he
did.
committed suicide. So, he's
So what happened there is this whole trial is starting. He goes to his first like arraignment hearing, and I think he bonded out. And he didn't bond her out, which is messed up, the girlfriend. He bonded himself out.
He's like,
He
"You're on your
bonded
own."
himself out and then killed himself. Like 2 days before trial was due to
I
start.
have a question though.
That's crazy.
He killed himself. So like when the way he killed himself, you're obviously in a garage, right? Your windows are down and your car's just running. How long does that take?
Actually not that long.
And
With the
how
carbon
does
monoxide?
yeah, and how long
It's not
your
that
mind
long.
not does your mind not say go run? Like you really have to be in a place to just
It's almost like I heard that it's almost like laughing gas. Like it you just slowly go to sleep.
oh
Yeah.
I'm thinking it'll cause his mouth like
No,
to
it's like-
choke or like
It's like a silent killer.
There was a movie I seen like that. It was caught him in the garage, and he forced the guy into the car. When he woke up, he had the hose going
yeah.
from the exhaust into the window, and it was all
Oh.
taped up. And yeah,
I
he was
couldn't
like-
I couldn't
He was
even
questioning him, and then he'd roll down the back window on the guy and like let him breathe a little bit and asking him, interrogating him,
and
then
then-
roll back up. Oh, it was crazy.
So he obviously was guilty. He knew he was going to
Oh,
get
yeah.
caught.
Oh, yeah.
So
Without a
it's-
doubt.
and he didn't even care about the girlfriend. He's like, "Bye, bitch, I'm gone."
The
I'm out."
evidence was so it was a 31
Catch baby cat.
It was a 31-day trial, and I watched every single day of it. And the amount of evidence against him, let me tell you, you can't get away with shit anymore. I watched these trials. They had the tracking device
Oh yeah,
on his
car
on his
phone.
truck. They knew everywhere he went and what time he was there. They tracked his phone. They pulled all of his text messages. They pulled all of his work emails and personal emails. Her work emails, her personal. By the way, the girlfriend started working for the company too.
Yeah. But why did she all of a sudden, when they were reading guilty, 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 she looked like, oh, how dare you find me guilty? Like, oh my God, like, girl, you
listen,
knew you were gonna be
yeah.
found
I
guilty.
believe. I don't know if I believe she actually murdered her.
But she had
I
something to do
believe
with
she
it.
disposed
But you
of the
knew
stuff
what happened.
after.
I would have been like, I don't want no part of that.
I think he murdered her.
I could see
and
you
was-
doing that way.
Yeah.
I got to go. That's
I
where I draw the
think-
line.
I
I
work.
think he
Drugs and
murdered.
alcohol, I got you, Johnny. But you kill someone, I got to go. We're not killing your ex. Like,
Yeah.
no, I can't do that.
Oh,
But that's crazy. Like, why would you? I don't know. And for me, is all that money worth it, or why couldn't you just split it and just keep going? And now, who has her 5 kids?
Her mom.
And who has all his money then?
He didn't have any money.
Who had all the money?
He was foreclosing on all his properties.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
So they just are gone, and those poor kids now know that the dad killed the mom and the dad killed himself, and now we're broke.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 5 of them. Tony's alarm.
I don't know.
Yeah, Tony's alarm.
Tony's alarm. That's crazy. I don't know. There's I don't understand that. It is what it is. But I feel like for men, there's a point in their head where you're not going to take what's mine, or no one else is going to have you, even though I don't want you. Like, where do I'm looking at you like, tell me the truth. How do you feel?
I'm not that way, but it just, I don't know. Like, it's crazy how men and women can get that way. Like, if I can't have you, no one can.
But you know, like,
I don't think that's what his mentality was.
But like she said, everyone's going to get caught nowadays, right?
Right.
So was it worth killing her and getting caught? Like, I don't know.
Well, to be clear, not everybody gets caught. So I think there are larger number of unsolved murders than there are solved murders.
Do you think that that's like Steph had her point though, like in today's time, 2024, more people will get caught because of all the
Technology?
technology, yeah, that's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, DNA is obviously a big thing. Cameras are a big thing, and the thing about cameras is it's not just the ones you see; it's the ones you don't see. People
Yeah.
taking pictures, and security cameras, ring doorbells, all these different things that they can gather evidence from. Yeah, there's a higher chance. I mean, they do their due diligence, but I mean, still, if it's something that you plan, you can get away with it. It's just obviously these guys weren't planning. They saw something on TV. Well, let's dump it in different trash cans. Nobody will find that. Let's drive around this high profile truck doing it that
Yeah.
way. In my truck
That
too.
stands out.
Yeah,
all
it's not
things.
like you're in like an old beat up ghetto truck that no one cares who you are. or what
Right.
Like
you're
my
doing.
Theo's truck, his
Yeah.
gardening truck.
Yeah, and nobody cares. I always say that, like, I'm gonna go buy an old truck now because what she said, you know how that all these trucks have all these newer cars have everything, the chips in them and stuff like that. I have a friend who has an old Tahoe, like early 2000s, and it doesn't have a chip in it. And I was like, "You still have that?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Girl, don't ever get rid of it."
Nope.
When the freaking
When they drop an EMP on us,
yes,
you're gonna
I
be the
said,
only
go
one on
buy
the
a
road.
new car, but save that. I said, because that car, they can't just stop it in the middle of the road when you're
Oh my
driving
God.
it. Yeah. I always say I'm going to go buy an old truck. I haven't yet, but I want to.
Mm.
Okay. So our next one real quick. I wanted to do like 3 more, but we're already running
Yeah,
out of
time.
time.
Well, this one's interesting. This last one. That you had.
The last one is, so I watched a documentary on Lorena during COVID probably, and it's on Netflix. And you could play the clip, and then I'll talk about it.
All right.
6 Raramuri women who competed in the speed project from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. Here's a little more background on these amazing women. They're native from the Sierra Madre Mountains in Chihuahua. Their name, Raramuri, means those who run fast. And they do. The reason they're such good runners is because they've been running through these canyons for centuries. Of course, all in huaraches. One of the runners is Lorena, who went viral a few years ago after she won a 50K in just her huaraches. She was even approached by Nike for a partnership, but turned it down by saying that those who wear tennis shoes are the ones behind her. For this speed project, 6 women participated, and they were all between ages 25 and 46. A journey of 335 miles from Los Angeles to the Las Vegas sign in Nevada. This was incredibly grueling because there were no stops along the way. Ran day and night for 2 days.
First off, I just want to say bravo to my tias right there.
Right? Like, that's no joke. Like, in what they wear, they don't, what did I ask you? I was
They're
like,
getting ready to make freaking menudo in the kitchen.
but what did I say? They wear their whole dress and everything, so there's no, what did I ask you?
Oh, no chafing.
Yeah, no chafing. I don't know
like
what
they would have chafing.
well, I don't know what they wear underneath, but they've been doing it Lorena's been doing it for so long. I don't know about the other girls.
Probably all this high tech Nike gear underneath.
Underneath.
Yeah, underneath.
All the dry fit.
She's not telling anybody. But the documentary is phenomenal, and it shows where she lives, and it shows that there's nothing for miles and miles where they live. So every time they have to go get something or do something, they're from 26 to 40 something years old. I'm like, I'm already heaving over here. I couldn't even imagine.
I wonder what
I
path
was
they
even
took.
just walking up the stairs.
What'd you say, Solomon?
I wonder what path they took. Like, did they go through the same path that the freeway goes through?
Yeah,
Or-
they showed it all on the. They showed you.
I
Can
gotta
go
see that.
it, and
I gotta see that.
They show clips of it and everything like that through the middle.
And
of
what
the
kind of
night.
shoes were they wearing?
Mariachis?
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are so we wore those when I was in Mexico visiting my dad all the time. It's basically like the bottom part is made out of tire rubber, and then the leather on top.
Probably had Goodyear under.
Oh, dude, those things last
Some
all
Michelins.
summer. Those are so, and we never got blisters or anything like that.
But wait, so 300 miles, right?
Mhm.
At any point, was there people on the side of the road giving them water?
Had to.
Were they stopping? Were they replacing their shoes?
There's
Were they getting
no,
medical
those shoes
treatment?
are lasting.
Yeah,
Those shoes
they'll
are
go through everything. They're all
lasting.
terrain.
Yeah.
They're mud boggers.
Well, Well, they showed people on the side of the road, like, I'm sure people gave them water. Like, they're people, whoever their team is or something. If they didn't, that's just crazy that they kept going with
No,
what
they
were
had
going.
to. They had to have water
Yeah,
and
but
rest and
people
everything.
were videotaping them. Like, if you go on TikTok, you could see it. People driving by, and they're just going on, running, doing their thing. And my thing is, they're wearing what they're wearing. How do they run in that and not fall, trip? The dress doesn't get stuck. It does, and it's actually a 2-piece.
Well, it
Yeah.
looks like their pace wasn't that. They weren't
Yeah.
going that fast. So
Yeah, they were
you know.
like jogging.
Well,
Yeah.
Lorena does a bunch of races, and she wins a lot of things. That's why they said Nike wanted to sponsor her and stuff. And
She's like, nah.
she's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
So you got to watch the
I got
documentary.
my Air
On
Force
Netflix.
Wands.
Yeah.
Nike wanted that PR. That's what they wanted.
What did you say, Sal?
Nike wanted the
The
public
PR.
relations. They
Yeah,
wanted that
they
PR
did.
hit.
But I did see her wearing some type of tennis, not on the documentary, but recently when I was checking because this just happened within the last week and a half, I think.
I gotta look that up.
Yeah. So, but I did see her on something in TikTok in some type of tennis shoe, in a race. So I don't.
Skechers.
So
I hate Skechers.
now I'm gonna go look and see.
That is
what's
the worst shoe.
And it was colorful. That's why I knew it wasn't her, what she normally wears. I got to go back and look, but that's funny.
Skechers would almost make sense. They're spending a lot of money to try to look legit now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have a.
Sort of like Kia. Oh,
So does what?
I said sort of like Kia.
IKEA or
IKEA
Kia?
or
No,
Kia?
Kia.
Oh, Kia.
Wait, are you backing on my car? My car. I love. You know what? When I had to trade in the truck for grandma to get a car and I didn't know what to get, my friend was like, get a Kia. They're cool. And I was like, ew, a Kia?
Yeah, because you just think Kia.
Yeah.
It doesn't like Toyota,
Yeah.
Honda.
Kind of like Saturn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Saturn.
And he was like, no, like, go look at them. They're super cute.
They've come a long way.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
they have.
my Kia. Like that little me. I say I'm Princess Peach driving over the bridge.
Like how?
I love my thing. So real quick, because we're gonna slightly touch on this, and we're almost done. I wanted to talk about the Diddy thing, and I wanted to talk about the Nickelodeon thing. The Nickelodeon thing really, really upset me because and the P Diddy does too, but the Nickelodeon thing. How are these parents not protecting? Everyone wants to blame Nickelodeon, but at the end of the day,
That's what I said.
it's your parent that
All of these kids have, and there's a law in California. If you are a child actor, whatever it may be, a music artist, a parent has to be on set with you all day long.
Yes.
So if all this stuff was going on,
The parents were just looking the other way.
Hey.
because of the paycheck,
Okay, now I'm seeing. Okay, now I just thought about it. Okay, hear me out
now
on this one.
everybody's mad.
Okay, you're saying like how a parent has to be on set,
Mhm.
right? Now, do you see it kind of similar to like when, you know how they kind of brush it off so that the kid is by himself, right?
Mhm.
Him or the kid's by itself themselves. Kind of like how the Shohei Otani and the rushing of the ball and separating the wife from the husband type of deal, like where it's like the parent is there but isn't there, and we're gonna just kind of
And you
push
know
the-
what?
the-
I think
the child away.
you're right because a lot of
You know what I
parents
mean?
live in happy land. I call it like La La Land. Like
Right.
if they were never molested, if they were never raped, if they were never inappropriately touched, a lot of people innocently don't believe that those things really happen, right?
Right.
So they're now on set and, oh, let me take your son over here. Okay, got it. So for me and what I went through when I was a kid, I've always been self-aware and so my sister says it, oh, Alina's like a hovering mom. Like she doesn't let her kids do anything because I'm not going to, as much as I can, ever leave my kids alone with somebody. And that happened. Seth played travel baseball. Lorraine played travel softball. I never let them go with any other parents or
Oh yeah, my mom was the same way when I played travel
went
basketball.
or they didn't
I was playing
go.
basketball, yeah.
And I don't care how much I liked the parents or I knew the coaches. Absolutely not. So for me, the silver lining in what happened to me as a child was it made me aware, right? Because some of these parents, the one with Nickelodeon, Drake and Josh, I think is his name Drake Bell, I think.
I think so, yeah.
His dad was the main guy taking him everywhere, doing anything. And he noticed that the guy that did what he did and he was found guilty and everything was too close. And so he started to, man started to whisper things in the kid's ear, like, oh, your dad's in your business too much. Your dad's in your business. Then went and started to tell the ex-wife, like, oh, he's stopping him from getting these roles. So they kind of pushed the dad out. And the dad told the mom, fine, you want to take over? Here's all the money. Here's the books. Here's all the appointments. Whatever you do, do not leave our son alone with this man ever. She said, okay. And as soon as the dad was out, what do you think the mom did? Left him alone with that man. Oh, we have to go here. I don't want to bring him to you late tonight. It's too late to drive all the way back to you. And she's like, okay, bring him tomorrow. Like, as a mom, if your ex is telling you this, you don't.
No.
And this has all been stated
Yeah.
on the documentary. So this is all facts. I'm not exaggerating or making it
Mhm.
up. How do you not protect your child? Like, how are you okay with letting your 15-year-old son sleep at a 40-year-old man's house?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Negative.
It's like that story that just came out where his daughter was having a sleepover and he had drugged all the kids. Gave them smoothies with Xanax in it.
Oh,
Where was
wow.
this?
And one of the little girls didn't drink the smoothie and texted her mom, you need to come get me, something's wrong.
Oh.
The dad was going around like shaking all of the girls at night.
What state
I can't
was this
remember
in?
what
How
state.
long
I'll
ago
have to
was
look
this?
it up. Just recently. He was just arrested for it.
So
Recently.
did he do anything, or
Couple
did he get
days
caught?
I don't think so. I have to keep reading. I just read it this morning.
But can he be arrested for giving them
Of
Xanax?
course.
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. You can be
That's
arrested
like-
for that. You can't give Xanax to kids. They were 12.
Well,
I was gonna say 12.
I've never even taken. I don't know what a Xanax really is. I
A
should have it, but I don't know what it
is
is.
like some type of sleeping pill, I guess.
Oh.
Obviously, you put them all
Well,
to sleep.
sleep.
Or
Well-
yeah, something that calms you down.
Yeah. So my kids, like, especially poor Lorena, like, she wasn't allowed to spend the night anywhere except for, like, as she got older, Vivian's house. And then after that, like, once she got into high school, but I didn't let her do anything. And she didn't understand then. Now she looks back and.
But you know, if you look at the context of this kind of stuff, you hear it all the time with couples, right? You know, the single mom, she gets with the abusive boyfriend, the boyfriend touching the daughter
Yep.
says something. The mom doesn't believe him because her motivation is, I'm going to keep this man, right? So at that point, she's saying, as long as it's not too bad, you know, then maybe there's a good chance that it's lying or this will go away. And when you look at these parents, they have that same motivation of, this kid is my cash cow.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, if I speak up too much, maybe
Yep.
they lose roles, maybe they
That-
get blackballed in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So as long as it's not too bad, I'm just going to sort of ride this wave. And now you see this
I just-
coming out.
I don't even think it's the too bad thing. The victim mentality thing with this, sometimes with the Me Too movement and with this whole child whatever going on in Nickelodeon, I hate the victim mentality because nothing was wrong when they were getting that paycheck. They were perfectly fine with all the crap going on set. Now there's a documentary out and parents are like, oh my God, they did this, this, and this on set. You did
Wait,
not
hold on.
care
Well-
when you
Hold
were
on,
getting
hold
a
on,
paycheck.
hold on. So you're saying it's okay that 15-year-old kid was, because he wasn't just molested, he was maliciously raped.
I never
And it
said that. I
Okay,
am
that's what it
saying-
sounded like.
No,
Yeah.
I never said that. I'm saying the parents, shame on them.
Well, because he came
They
out,
allowed
found
it
out,
to happen.
They found out right when it happened. So he went to court years ago. It came out years
Yeah.
ago, but the documentary just came out.
Yeah.
Him actually getting arrested, them going to court. So what happened was the kid, and I know I'm not saying the right kid, it's from the kid from Drake and Josh. He was at his girlfriend's house, and the guy that was doing all this stuff kept calling him on his phone, and he wouldn't answer. He finally called the girlfriend's house to talk to him. And the girlfriend's mom was like, here, so-and-so's on the phone with you. After he hung up, she said, come here and sit down. No grown man should be calling you and you feeling that uncomfortable talking to him. What's going on? She's the one, the girlfriend's mom, that realized and put it together. She's the one that got him
Something
in
was
therapy.
wrong.
But you're talking about Drake and
Drake and
right?
Josh.
That's not what I was talking about. There's a documentary out about Nickelodeon.
That's him. That's the whole documentary. It's all together.
Oh, I didn't hear anything about
Yeah,
Drake
that's
and
the
Josh
whole
in
thing
this one.
together. No, he's the main guy in the Nickelodeon documentary.
No, I know. I think we're talking about two different documentaries.
Okay, so that
Yeah.
that case came out years ago, but it was hush hush.
Yeah.
Nobody really knew about it because once again, it's Hollywood, so just kind of sweep it under
Under
the
the
rug.
rug.
And the guy who did these god awful things to him only got like 18 or 16 months in jail. Came back out and went back to work for Nickelodeon again.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't think
Crazy.
that him as a kid was like, okay, keep doing it to me. I'll take the money because
No.
it's ruined
No.
his life. Like,
No.
Yeah.
I don't
Something
think
like
it's
this,
the
yeah.
kids at all.
Didn't the same thing kind of happen to Corey Feldman?
well, yeah,
Right?
Corey Feldman and Corey Haim were forever telling everybody, look what's going on, look what's going on.
And
They even went on, was it not Barbara Walters, or maybe it was, who was the other one? I think they went on like The View. I forgot which one runs The View, and they tried to tell them what was happening. And they laughed at them like, oh my God, you're going to tear down Hollywood. Do you know what you're saying? And they've been trying for years to talk about how much pedophilia is going on in
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't think it's the kids at all. It's the parents. They
Oh,
just
for
were
sure.
like, because they're getting the paycheck.
Yeah.
It's not the kids getting the paycheck like Macaulay Culkin. He came out
Well,
and was like,
because-
my parents stole all my money.
But because of him, I think, or somebody else, there's a law now. They could only take a small portion.
Yeah.
The other part goes to the kid.
Yeah, so no, I don't think it's the kids. It's the parents. And they sat there and they watched, they were on set. They watched all this crap happen. And they didn't say anything. And now they're coming out.
Well,
and
it's not the parents
oh,
coming
the
out. It's the
stuff-
kids themselves that are now coming out saying how
No, I
now
mean,
that they're older.
The documentary I watched, parents and the kids are in the documentary. Now they're older.
So the parents are acting shocked then?
So the parents are now acting shocked on the documentary saying, oh my God, yeah, you're right. All this stuff happened. You did not care when it was
Yeah,
happening.
They didn't give it. Yeah.
You recollect it now and you're talking all this crap now. But
What else
why
are they
weren't
gonna
you
say,
protecting
right?
your kid then?
Yeah. Well, the one kid that got it the worst, his dad did try to protect him every which way possible. And they literally like shoved him out. And when he called his dad to tell his dad, like, Dad, they finally arrested him. And he goes, I knew it. I knew there was something wrong with this guy. I'm just so glad it wasn't you. And he's like, Dad, it was me.
Yeah.
And the dad was on the documentary just crying, saying, I tried. Nobody would listen. Everybody pushed me out. And I cried because I felt bad. Like, here's a parent actually sticking up for his kid, and he got pushed out.
I don't
sad.
know.
It was
I
weird.
don't know. If it's just my personal opinion, if this was something on a smaller scale, if this was a baseball game, if this was a school play, there is nothing that would stop me from
Exactly.
being there. I don't buy into this. I tried.
I tried.
That's BS.
That's how I feel. Like the same thing with the Otani, the husband and wife getting separated. I'm like, dude, if that's my kid,
Yeah.
you're not standing in between me and my kid.
Absolutely
not a
not.
freaking chance.
But you also have to watch what situations you put your kids in, right?
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Like for me, I watched because I am a mom and Seth was in the baseball field, right? I know that they probably all think Seth's mom's a crazy psycho woman, but that's okay. I'd rather you think I'm a crazy psycho woman than you ever thinking, oh, we could slide in and do something. That's never going to happen because I was on his.
Yeah.
That's why I have all their locations. That's why I know where all my
Yep.
babies are. Like for me, I would rather them be mad at me for not allowing them to do something and then be safe than not. Because like Solomon said, a lot of it happens in single moms. And I would tell Seth that, like, I don't know who her boyfriend is. I
Right.
don't know if he gets drunk in the middle of the night and not only physically, like sexually does something to you. What if he physically does something to you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many things we don't know. We just have to protect ourselves.
And I think the last point too is that we got to remember these are kids. They're still developing. Now you put them in a high paced, industry like Hollywood, and they're being told all the time that these are things you have to do to get these roles. These are things you have to sort of put up with. It's okay. I got through it. You'll be fine. And they're believing this stuff because they're not hearing anything else from anybody else. And then
Yeah.
later on, they're finding out that wasn't okay. It wasn't appropriate. I shouldn't have had to do that to get these roles. And why didn't my parents protect me? That's the worst part.
That's why we don't keep secrets. That's why we teach little girls to talk.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Steph, it was good having you back.
Yay.
You and your Dodger blue.
Go Dodgers.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Solomon, of course, as always. please follow on Instagram, TikTok, on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. We're getting more and more comments, which is awesome. Please keep them coming.
Keep it coming.
Yeah. Recommendations. We have a list of people that have recommended topics, which we're trying to go through and kind of write them down and figure out when we can do them.
So we don't forget.
Yes, we don't forget.
Well, and then let me say this, guys. Like, the cool thing about this, and I've watched this obviously develop from day one. This is really a homegrown podcast, and you always want to make these things to fit like a large group of people. But we know who home is. We know the people watching. They know the people here, and it's appreciated. So, guys, do this. If you have comments and things like that, rather than inboxing Alina or Tony or Stephanie, go ahead and put it on the YouTube comments or the Spotify comments. It helps with the algorithm and helps push the video and the audio out to more people, and it helps grow the channel. So if you could do that when you're about to text her, go, you know what? Let me wait. Let me go on YouTube and I'll put it in the comments there. That would be a really big help.
Thank you.
Dang.
Yeah, I said it way better than I could.
Yeah, that's because I used the word algorithm. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And until next time, bye.
Bye.